Hey guys, how are you doing? So it's Crypto Insight UK here. It's the 9th of July at 10 a.m. Sorry I've not been as active this week. As you guys know, in the UK there's a massive football tournament going on, the European finals. I've been to Wembley to watch Italy against Spain, then obviously watched England versus Denmark the other night. So this has interrupted my schedule a bit, but it is what it is. Life's for living, guys, but I do apologise for not getting you out the content. But to be fair, you haven't really missed out on too much. The market's basically done what I said it would do from the start. When we dropped down into this region here, 30k, I thought that would be the lowest. Yeah, I know that we came down to 28k. I did say when we're in this range we could come to 28, and 28.8 was hit. But what I basically said was I thought we'd chop for a while sideways, and so far we have been in this grueling sideways movement for 51 days now. So I completely get the sentiment of the market. A lot of people hate him, but we are starting to have some people come back through and say that they think that it will go back up. But I feel like people now are just clutching at straws. I don't think they do much TA anymore. I think they're just sort of hoping. But I'm going to show you some things that I see. Yeah, so let's start with Bitcoin. On the hourly, this is the hourly. You can see it was pretty volatile back here, and then we've come down. Okay, so I'll show you. I'll draw it in so it's a bit easier to see. So look at these choppy they're quite big movements. But then now we are starting to bunch up. Look, if you see these, they're starting to get smaller or consolidate more. And so I predict this pattern would continue a bit like this. I did think we'd break out before this, but I think we could do something like that, and that's what I'm looking for. Some more consolidated moves in here, and then out we come. But what we need to really keep our eye on is this volume at the bottom. If we look at these volume bars down here, if you look when we had this initial drop, volume's massive. Loads of people selling in the market, loads of people buying back when it gets to this point, loads of people selling. Then even when we had this drop here to this low, it wasn't as high volume as it was to the previous drop. And since then, we've just tapered off the volume, and almost not no volume, but there's so little volume in the market at the minute, which tells me we could be looking at a reversal. It means that the bears are running out of steam, and that means that the bulls will have an open door to come through and have a go at something. So what else are we waiting for? I want to have a look at the RSI. Let's take Bitcoin to the daily first, though. The RSI is a good indicator because it's actually a predicting indicator. So unlike the moving averages and the MACD, which are both lagging indicators, the RSI actually predicts. So I quite like using it every now and then. I do look into the RSI. I do look at MACDs sometimes. So this is something very interesting about the RSI. Noticed it the other day. Is that we've got this pattern coming here. Bang. So this is, so the RSI is a relative strength index. It's basically showing you the strength of in this case, the crypto. So if we break above this line, bang, then that's something that's going to indicate to me that we're off on a breakout. So that's something I'd definitely keep your eye on. It's pretty easy to have a look into the RSI. I do like to have my values a bit different than this if I'm looking at it. If I keep it on as an indicator, I actually have my bottom at 20. Oh, that's 29. That's 20. And my top at 80. To show where it's really oversold. And show where it's overbought and oversold. But yeah, anyway, we need to be looking to break above this descending trend line, the RSI. If we can break above that, then that will show a divergence in what's happening in the market, because we are slowly just trending down in the market. It's pretty similar with the strength and what we're looking at here. So if we can get this, just a hook round here, boom, come up through there, break above this high at, what's that, 51.96. We break above that, I think we could be looking at a reversal, but I wouldn't be counting your chickens. I don't think it's happening too fast. We are waiting for some kind of catalyst, and I personally do think there are a few things for that there could be. One could be a Bitcoin ETF, which I think is coming. I'm going to do a TikTok today about just the volume on the daily, just quickly. As you can see, look, it's slowly tapering off. So that's the bears losing steam, because we are still in a bearish trend as the 50 days below the 200 day. So what I'd like to see, as I'm saying, is some volume come through, find a support level. If this is going to be it, 32,000. Let's really get some momentum. Let's break above these highs, start to push into this zone. You'll see some green volume come through. You'll see that RSI breakout that I was talking to you about. Hopefully recapture. That 50 is pretty easy to recapture now. It's all the way down at 36. We recapture that 50. We start using that support. Boom. We're up here recapturing the 200. But yeah, so some things that I think that could be catalysts in the market. So we've had a Senate in the US write to Gary Gensler, which I think is all a big show now. I don't like to put my tinfoil hat on and say things like this. But she's come out now and said, by the 28th of July, we need to have clear rules on regulation of cryptocurrency. So what do I think is going to happen then? Off the back of that, we may have a... I don't know if we will have a dump any further, because I already feel like people have kind of pricing that in. Like, unless they completely take away exchanges, which I think is also possible, because I think there's a big power play coming. So what I think could happen is they regulate the life out of the exchanges, or say that all the exchanges need to have certain regulation, and they give them, let's say, a month's grace period. And that month is probably not going to be long enough even to get their certifications through the government. And in that time, lo and behold, I reckon a big bank like Goldman Sachs will come out and be like, oh yeah, because we know that they've been building a cryptocurrency exchange. They bought one for like 400 million back like a few years ago. I think they'll just come through and be like, yeah, we've got all the regulatory compliance, and we're now the only place where you can trade crypto in the US. That's one of the things that I think could happen. So this is speculation. And the other thing that I think could happen is, off the back of that, on the 28th of July, or even before that, is we see the Bitcoin ETF come through for America. They've been talking about it. They applied last month to the SEC, and the SEC didn't reject it last month. They just delayed it for 30 days. So that actually ties in again pretty well with what this senator's saying. She wants regulation by the 28th. Could we see a Bitcoin ETF that helps the market take off again? There's just a few things to think about, guys. That's just where my brain's going at the minute. Let me just have a quick sip of coffee and let's have a look at the XRP chart. So here it is, XRP. I don't love that structure, because I'll show you what I see here. This is the daily. If we go down there and we bounce, we come here and we bounce, we come here and we bounce. Although the bounces are actually getting smaller, so I guess that actually isn't too bad when we draw on it. But what we don't want to happen is to lose this level here, because then we come through probably down to this range, 30 cent. But I don't see us doing that. Like, if that happens, I'm gonna have to sell my blooming business and buy up all the XRP I can, because we're never gonna see anything like this again, in my opinion. But we could see, so if we show you what we've just done again, so we've got this bounce here, boom, consolidate, up we come, bit of volatility, bounce, didn't want to be up there right then, there, and we're consolidating. Could we be doing something like that? Boom. That's a speculative drawing, but what we want to do is we want to stop this from crossing. Although it's a lagging indicator, like I keep telling you, we don't really want to see the 50-day cross the 200-day. But if you look at the volume on XRP, it's almost laughable. You see, even back in here, look, the SEC suit's fresh. We had the big sell-off. This is the SEC suit. This is in November. The big sell-off in the SEC suit. Look at the volume here. Mad. Big sell-off. We had that XRP pump and dump day. Pumped all the way up to 75 cents. Sold off. But look, the volume stays. And then we start breaking out. We had the volume. But look at the volume here. It's like one person a day buying XRP or selling it. And that really should show you that something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Like, the volume has tapered off so much. So much. The RSI is almost in the floor. It's just mad. Like, it's just mad, like, how low that volume is. I can't really believe it. Let's put it on the weekly and just see what's going on there. Okay. It's just crazy. I just felt like I wanted to come on. I haven't really done too much TA recently. I thought I'd just come on and talk to you guys. Just talk through everything that I see. Now, there's one big positive today, so far. And although I really don't rate the project, we need to be looking at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is surging 10%, and I looked on Twitter and Elon Musk hasn't even tweeted about it. So why is this happening? I don't really know, unless I've missed something in the news, which is highly possible. But as I said, look at this, volume low. We get some green spikes in volume, and we've really pushed through. We've reclaimed the 50-day moving average on Doge. It's really aiming for that 200-day as well. It does blow my mind and boggle me that we are in a market that's still buying coins like this. But it's a speculator's market, and if they want to be buying Doge, and that's up to them. Like, it's not always going to be the case that it's going to be speculation, because utility will come into play, and that's what we're all gambling on. That's what we're all speculating on, is the fact that one day there will be utility coming into play for cryptocurrency, and that's when we'll see proper rallies, not rallies like we do see. So I did actually, with full transparency, I have bought some Algorand in the last dump as well. I quite like this structure that Algorand is on, but mainly I mainly bought it because I like the project in general. So we are looking at a bullish channel there. So this looks a bit like quite a strong reversal for Algorand. But again, the volume is very inconsistent. And let's have a look at the total market cap of cryptocurrencies. I haven't really done too much TA recently. I've just been trying to stay on top of the news. So everything looks pretty similar. This looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart. If you look at the difference between the total and the Bitcoin chart, where are you, BTC? There. Oh, it's nice that it's just hovering on the buy box that I drew in. Remember, I showed you this buy box. It just touched the top of it and then it rejected it. But yeah, anyway, look, one low, two low, and then a further low. It's pretty similar to the total market cap, which makes sense, of course. One low, two low, further low, which makes sense because Bitcoin has a big market share. I'm not exactly sure what the percentage is at the minute, but what are we looking for here? We're looking to find a bottom. Again, the volume is should be telling you the story at the minute. We've got the much higher volumes in these sort of areas, and then it slowly tapers down. But as this comes down and we taper down the volume, it sets you up for a takeoff, because it's basically the sellers losing steam in the market. And then we've got the altcoin market cap, which again is similar, 1, 2, 3 lows, and we are still looking for a bottom here as well. So there's not loads to report on, but at the same time, like, it is painting a picture, guys. This is what you really need to think to yourselves. So although there's not loads to report on, it's still respecting the 200-day. We would look to have captured that now as support, which could be good if we can really bounce off from this level. So maybe we have another day around this area, and I think we could push. I really do think we could push and break that was that billion? 830 billion, I think it is. We could really push and break out of that zone. That's the same with Doge. It's capturing the 200-day moving average on the daily. at support. So yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys aren't getting too disheartened in the market, because this is a great time to be filling your bags. And I know there's a lot of conflicting interest. Some people saying we're coming lower, some people saying we're going higher. But what you really need to think to yourself is, what is the difference between the asset that you owned at one, or let's just say XRP? What's the difference between the utility and the speculation of XRP that you were buying at $1.50 to $1.90 to buying it at 61 cents? And I can tell you the answer is there's no difference apart from your emotion. So if you really believe in that asset at 150, you're getting it at a third of the price at 60 cents. It's just madness. Like, if you haven't got exposure that you want to this market, even if it may come down, like, this is what I try and say. I've had some one-to-ones with people, and I said, I've had some one-to-ones with people who've told me they've sold their whole bag of crypto. And I say, well, why? They're like, oh, because I'm still in profit slightly from when I first bought it, and if it crashes, I'll feel bad. I get that. You don't want anything to play on your mental health, but what you got to think is, where's it going to come to? Absolute worst case scenario, worst ever case, we come down to here, which is like, what, 30 cents. So you're losing 50% where we are now, which I absolutely don't think we're going to do. And then, so if we're getting absolute worst case scenario, what's the absolute best case scenario? Okay, absolute best case scenario is, let's get it on the weekly so I can zoom out easier. Absolute best case scenario is, we absolutely fly at this end. This isn't actually a dollar, it's because of all my resistance levels, so I'm going to show you on a different chart, sorry. Worst case scenario, like I said, we come down to this 30 cent, where's this? 30 cent range, in here, okay? And then absolute best case, what's that then? I think this isn't even best case, I think these are just very normal projections for what I think XRP could do. Best case, we're up to $55+. So what's that risk to reward? So we know it's 50% down to 30 cent. So let's have just a look. I'm not going to be able to draw this in accurately. I know we're about there. If we look up to $55, it's a 6,000% gain. So what? Well, slightly more. But just to give you an example, right? I think it's more than 6,000. I'm sure it's more than 6,000. I think that's right. 10 times. Yeah, I think, okay. But that's what you've got to think to yourself, guys. Do you want to limit your exposure or destroy your exposure because you've got some people saying that it's going to come down? Obviously, do your own research, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying, if you've got this far and you want more exposure to the market, what are you going to risking missing an opportunity for an extra few percent? I don't think it's worth it. Selling for a risk reward ratio of 50% to 6,000 is just bananas. Like, oh god, it hurts my head a little bit to think that people make decisions like that. But I understand it. You're emotional. It's a scary time. It's your money that you've worked hard for. But you really got to just take a step back and have a think about what you're doing. Why are you in crypto? Why were you in crypto in the first place? Were you here to make a fast dollar? If you were here to make a fast dollar and you've not lost anything, fair enough. Take your initial investment out if you're scared. But ultimately, guys, nothing has changed. What's changed? Short-term price action. Yeah, we've been probably coming down from the top, if you XRP holder like I am, for 80 days, 90 days, 3 months. Okay, this is how crypto goes. So in 3 months you've been coming down, and it goes up. The whole gain that it had, it went up in 26 days. So you come down for a lot longer than you go up. But this is why you need to take profits if you want to. But like, personally, I'm not taking profits. I'm not taking any profits until it hits my Fibonacci retracement levels. I'm not taking anything until it's up in this area at all. And that's completely transparent with you. And I've got a huge bag of XRP. So they're just things to keep thinking about, guys. I know I've rambled on loads in this video, but I just really hope you start to see and listen and understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not a financial advisor. No one can predict the future, but don't trade emotionally. And if you want more exposure to the market and you think it's going to dip, we are in a dip. Like, you can't just say, oh, it's going to dip further, it's going to dip further. Yes, it's possible, but would you rather have extra exposure at 61 cent, or you're going to wait for it to go back up and see the green candle, start to get excited and buy at 90 cent and miss out on that extra 50% gain that you could have had just because you thought we were going to dip further? If you're worried about a further dip, dollar cost average, if I was in a position where I was looking to get more exposure, I'd be getting it right now. I've got all my cash now in. I bought some more yesterday. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. I appreciate everyone who's stopped into my channel. Oh yeah, actually, I've got one other thing to say. I don't know if this is a good decision or not. We'll know in the future. As I said, I bought Algorand. I'm going to move this up in my trading view. I actually sold my VE chain as well. A very controversial decision. So I like VE chain. There's nothing against it at all. I just think Algorand with the ISO 222 could be really going somewhere. But I think VE chain could go somewhere too. It's all speculation. My cash is low, so I used my VE chain bag to buy Algorand. I already made a decent bag from VE chain in March sort of time, sorry. Cashed out 85% of it, and I've sold the rest off now. And I never really recommend to do that. It's just a hunch that I had. Whether it's right or wrong, we'll see in a few months to years' time, I guess. I could look smart or I could look very stupid. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I've rambled on too much, but I just wanted to give you an insight into where I am, what my feelings are. And I hope you all stay safe. Watch the England game because it's coming home, lads and girls. Yeah, it's a very scary time. I'm very like my body's tired. Very emotional about the football. It's tiring watching the charts all the time with not a lot of action happening, trying to keep you guys updated as to what I see. There's a lot of negative comments at the minute. It's all quite stressful. It gets on top of you a lot. But it's something that I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I understand everything. I understand why people are sad. I understand everything about the situation. It's not easy to watch your portfolio go down. But if you take a wider perspective, you're onto a winner, basically. Look at what the news is actually telling you. Banks are buying crypto. Banks are making crypto teams. Banks are doing this, that. Hedge funds are looking into crypto. 1 to 5% of their allocations going into crypto. Germany's just allowed hedge funds to put up to 20% into crypto. Like, don't get scared out by like some short-term news stories or whatever you think's going on price action-wise short-term. Look at what they're actually telling you. But yeah, okay, I will stop now. Thank you for listening, guys. If you do need anything crypto-wise, have a look at the links in my description. You need to get your stuff off exchanges. We've got a lot of uncertainty on the exchanges at the minute. Get it onto a ledger. I've got a ledger link in my bio. If you need any extra help, I do paid one-to-one sessions. But you can also always get in my Telegram group chat, which is free, and I'll reply to you whenever I can. Like, as I said, I'm super busy at the minute, but thank you all so much for all your support. I do really appreciate it, and I haven't said that enough recently, but I really do. I'm 40,000 followers on TikTok now. It's absolutely incredible, and I appreciate every single one of you who not only follows me on TikTok, but comes and shows their support on YouTube as well. It really does mean a lot to me, and I haven't got that across enough recently because I'm just emotionally knackered and physically knackered just from everything I'm doing. Started football training again, going to the gym again. Like, obviously things are opening up in the UK, so I am very tired, but like I really love doing this every day, and I don't want you guys to think that I don't, because you facilitate this opportunity for me. So just want to say thank you, and yeah, I'll speak to you probably not tomorrow, so maybe on Monday, unless something mad happens in the market. If it does, I'll keep you updated, of course. But peace up until then, okay, guys. Let's look for a green day today. We woke up, or when I woke up, I was 6% down on XRP, and now we're 90.97% down. So that's a 5% gain since I've woke up. That's one last thing actually I wanted to cover. So this is the daily, yeah. if we look in at this daily time frame, so since what we're on the 9th of July, let's have a look how many green candles, how many red candles we actually had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green candles, if you include today. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red. So although it feels like we've been coming down so much, we've had 11 green and 7 red candles. So that's like, what percentage-wise is that then? So we've had 33% extra green candles. Well, about 30% extra green candles than we've had red. But it does feel like we've just been red all the time, doesn't it? Just shows you something as well. But yeah, look for the volume. Look for the breakout. Let's try and recapture these dailies. These moving averages on the daily for Bitcoin. Let's watch for XRP. Let's see if we can break above this area here, 73 cent. And then let's see what happens from there.